friends, once again, I am so glad to be here. And I tell you, this month, it seems, is finally bringing us a change in the weather. This month of May is a month for mothers. The mothers are being honored this month. God gave us the mothers, blessed the mothers. Okay? Why not? It's their time. Sometimes we go weeks and weeks and not even call your mother and say, how you doing? Or I love you. I've got a son that will call me or text me every now and then. And he said, you know what? I just thought about you and thought about I had not told you that I love you in quite a while. Just wanted you to know. That means a lot to a mother. Just the words. You don't have to buy the gifts. You don't have to come with a lot of money. You just go and give her a hug or let her hear from you by phone that you love her, you think about her, you miss her, you cherish what she has given you. But this is the month of May, the month for mothers. Next month, we'll do the fathers, okay? But right now, I've got somebody with me today that I am sure you are going to enjoy. This man was introduced to me by Joseph Phillips, and I had him on my program with his poems and with his saxophone. I'm telling you, God has gifts, and he has blessed each and every one of us with more than one gift, more than one talent. All we have to do is use what he has given us. He will increase what he gives to us as long as we're sharing what he gives. If we keep it to ourselves, that's all we've got is that one thing that he gave us. He gave us life, and that's all we want to cherish is life, so that's all he'll bless us with. But if he gives us life with a voice and we don't mind sharing that voice, he will bless that voice to be heard by more than just you in front of a mirror or in the bathtub. Okay? Now today we've got this young man with me today. His name is Kevin Armstrong. He is quite a talent and a gift that God has given us. And I'm telling you, you're going to be thrilled and enlightened by what he says. Meet Kevin Armstrong.
Hello.
This man, I tell you, tell him a little bit about what you are, what you do.
I am a professional roofer. I had a business for 15 years, had 100 home contracts, but the housing crisis of 2008 took me out. But my first passion has always been music.
All right.
I started playing music when I was 8 years old.
Great.
Family had a band called the Family Tree. We did local weddings and little things like that, played different church events, and then I did a thing with Shenandoah Theater. Shenandoah Play is theater and town and country theater, the Broadway kind of play.
Okay.
Where you had to learn the lines, you had to sing the songs. I had a pretty good part. That was a good experience. Then I started studying the saxophone at the Cleveland Music School Institute, Samuel Patty. It was a classical training. Then I went to Berklee College of Music on a Woodwind scholarship.
Wow.
For the saxophone. So at Berklee in Boston, Massachusetts, I studied music production engineering. So my influence, though, I'd have to say, my influence is just life itself. I never really had a particular artist or genre that I patterned myself after.
Great.
I just kind of open up and let the Lord speak to my heart and try to express what I feel. So when I was in Boston, I had a lot of different jobs. I had a job downtown Boston in Jordan Marsh. And I was working late one night. Coming out of there, I couldn't figure out how to get back home. I was, Back Bay was a long way. I was a new guy in Boston. I couldn't figure out how to get home. So I went a couple corners, turned around. I saw a police officer standing in the distance. When I got up to him, they were standing over a homeless man who had passed away.
Wow.
So I was like, that experience is one of the things that began me on a writing frenzy of music that has turned to about 400-something songs to date.
Whoa, great.
But this particular song that I wanted to share with you first is called First Time. because it was the first time that I had encountered a situation where I, as a young person, came face to face with death in an unexplained manner. And it was, you know, I guess it was hard to really put my mind around the conversation the police officers were having when I walked up, because you couldn't tell that something was wrong as you walk up until you get there, and then you realize that this poor gentleman
is no longer
with us, and we've and life just keeps going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So the message in this song is to kind of try to get people to understand that why can't we love each other as the Lord does up high?
Yes, yes.
Why?
What I liked about what you said, though, is that you did not pick a particular genre. You kind of just opened up and let God lead you where He wanted you to go, and to give out of you what He wanted others to hear.
Yes.
And witness, mainly because a lot of people think that, hey, if I'm not doing it in the church, if it's not a gospel thing, I can't be a part of it, I can't do it. It's a talent, it's a gift. God gave it. Nobody else did it. God gave it.
Did it.
Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson, Four Tops. I mean, these people have gifts. They have talents. It's not of themselves.
No.
God blesses whom He will or may with whatever gift they open themselves up for. One of the songs that I had from my first CD said, He Said Go. That's the title song from that CD. And that song says, He said go wherever, the highways, the hedges, the byways. He said go. Whatever He tells you to do, that's what you're supposed to do. Whatever He gives you the talent for, that's what you're supposed to share.
Amen.
Somebody is going to be able to come closer to the Maker, the Creator, through what He has given you to share, than if you sat right on your front porch or in your living room and could just go ahead and just play it and sing it, and nobody would hear it but just the walls in the house or the little air space on the porch with a couple of people. Hi, how you doing? Oh, you sing it? Yes, I am. And that would be the end of it. No, you gotta share it all the way. Get out there. Share that.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said the first song you've got is The First Time?
The First Time.
All right. Now, we want to hear that.
Well, let's see what it is.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Fast forward is how it seems to me. I don't know where I'm supposed to be. I know it's not the first time. No, it's not the first. But it's the first time for me. There's people in the streets, in the alleyways. They picking garbage cans. I saw it and I know it's not the first time. But it's the first time for me. Yes, it is. I know it's not the first time a man's gonna die, 'cause he's hungry or he's cold, leaving no one to cry. Prosperity and freedom, can you please tell me why we can't love each other as the Lord does up high? Tell me why, tell me why. Could you please tell me why? Could you tell me why? Tell me. We can't love each other as the Lord does up high. Now please tell me why so many must die. An opportunity land, inflation too high. Get a job, go to work 9 hours a day, but you never get ahead of the bills you pay. We got politics and preachers living like a fat cat, dope dealers with a lifestyle to match. Around the corner, a man with no teeth, no place to call his home, no place for him to sleep. All in all, what I'm trying to say is take a good look around, y'all. Take a good look around. And see if the good Lord can anywhere here near be found. Come on now. I play music. I went to this town. They don't like black folks, y'all. It was trouble I found. It's not the first time, but it's the first time for me. Yes, it was. and look at the TV to a distant war. They're killing the children, and I don't know what for. It's not the first time, but it's the first time for me. Yes it is, yes it is. I know it's not the first time, it's not the first time. I know it's not the first time, it's not the first time. I know it's not the first time, but it is the first time for me. Yes it is, yes it is. So fast forward is how it seems to me. I don't know where I'm supposed to be. I know it's not the first time, but it's the first time for me. Yes it is. Look at the TV to a distant war, and they are killing the children, and I don't know what for. It's not the first time, but it's the first time for me. Yes it is. Now I know it's not the first time a man's gonna die, cause he's hungry or he's cold, he's leaving no one to cry. Prosperity and freedom, can you please tell me why we can't love each other as the Lord does up high? Tell me why. Could you please tell me why? Could you please tell me why? Tell me, why don't we love each other as the Lord does up high? Tell me why. Oh,
I'm telling you, that was awesome.
Thank you very much.
Believe me when I say this man has a message. These things are happening every day. And we're wondering, why? Why? I've got a song that even addresses some of the same issues of why. And it's called Why. But you said you had another one you wanted to share with us today.
Yes,
What's it called?
Caught Up.
All right.
We are going to be caught up.
You said your dad had something to do with it.
My father wrote several songs before he passed away. We were working on collaborating them together, and this is his title track that he wrote. I put the music together, and he was humming in the background, and it turned into this idea that we're going to be caught up to meet him in the air one day.
All right.
We're looking for that.
Go ahead and do that for us.
Okay.
Yes.
gonna be caught up, caught up, ooh, caught up. I'm gonna meet him in the air. We're gonna be caught up, alright. Caught up, caught up. Meet him in the air. Let not your heart be troubled. If you believe in God, you believe also in me. In my house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I've gone away to prepare a place for you. That where I am, you may be also. Jesus said at the top is on the way, the truth and the life. No one will come to the Father but by me. Oh, I'm gonna be caught up, alright. Caught up, oh, I'll be caught up. We're gonna meet him in the air. Caught up, alright. Caught up, ooh, caught up. We're gonna meet him in the air. Our Father which art in heaven. Now hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. Ooh, come on, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Oh man, come on now. We're gonna be caught up, alright. Caught up, ooh, caught up. We're gonna meet him in the air. Caught up, oh, one day, y'all. Caught up, yes, we'll be caught up. We're gonna meet him in the air. gonna be caught up. We'll be caught up. We're gonna meet him in the air. Oh, one day soon. Oh, you better be ready. We're gonna be caught up. We're gonna meet him in the air. Soon, people. Come on, soon, people. Oh, soon. We're gonna meet him in the air. We're gonna be caught up, all right. Caught up. Oh, you better be ready. I can feel it. I can feel it one day. Soon we're gonna be caught up, all right. Caught up. Come on, everybody, get ready to meet him in the air. You gotta be ready to be caught up. It's gonna be a glorious day. Oh. We are going to meet him in the air. So that's caught up. One day we're going to meet him in the air. That was my father's message, and I am so looking forward to that day when I get to see and sing with him again.
Right. Now, I know you enjoyed that because that man has a lot of what God is trying to get us to understand and to share with each other. First time. And why can't we be like what God intended us to be like in the first place? Sisters and brothers, mothers and fathers, all coming together. You know, there was a time we even thought that it took a village to raise a child.
Amen.
Well, if a village was going to raise the child, definitely everybody in the village was going to be connected. We're so separated today, it's not even funny. And it has nothing to do with the fact that we're different colors, because we're separated even in one color. That's
Amen.
terrible.
Amen.
But we are separated as far as denominations. We are separated as far as job titles, because we don't feel to believe we should have anything to do with them. They are beneath us, and they're not on the same level. The only time you're not on the same level is when you're not doing what God told you to do. As long as God says to go, that's what you're supposed to be doing, going. If he says share it, that's what you're supposed to do, share. This man tells me that he plays a lot of instruments. I want him to tell all of us all these instruments that he shares, that he has done, he is accomplished on. So let's hear about them. What instruments you do?
My favorite instrument is the keyboard. I love the piano.
Wow.
When I was a child, the family band, they assigned us instruments, so I got the congos and the saxophone. That was my assignment. But I stole away as often as I could to get on that piano. So I developed the piano, and then when I got to Berkeley and college in Boston, you had to learn how to write for all the instruments.
Oh,
so
you
then
write as well.
Yes. So then
Blessed.
So now I can write for the guitar, the bass, the trumpet, sax, the clarinet, or whatever instrument. And but my favorite instruments to play are the keyboards, the saxophone, bass, guitar, and drums.
All right. And see, I only pick a little bit on the drum. I pluck on piano.
Try closing your eyes.
And I haven't accomplished anything really on any of it, okay? But that shows that we are given talents. We are given gifts. We're not limited in what God gives to us, except we limit what we're going to accept from him.
Yes.
Because he's freely giving all the time.
All the time.
He gives and gives and gives. But if we are closed and don't accept it, then it's nobody's fault but ours that we don't have but the one talent, which is to sit on the porch, cross our legs, or to sit in the corner and say, amen, amen.
Amen.
That is not the only gift you have. Maybe you can say amen better than the person in the back row, but that's not the only gift that God has given.
No, he has given us many
He
gifts.
gives many gifts and talents, and not just to a bunch of people, and you have to say, well, this one plays the keyboard, that one plays the sax, this one plays the... No, you've got all of those gifts in one person. That lets you know God, it does not limit, and he has no respect to person. So it makes no difference what you do in life. You said you were a roofer, had a company and everything.
Oh yeah, very successful company for 15 years.
Okay. So we know there are no limits on what God can do. There are no limits in what God gives. We limit God in what we have. We have to stop doing that, because the only way we're going to excel and actually be witnesses everywhere is if we do what Christ did. He didn't limit his Father. Say, I don't have any transportation, so I can't go to Galilee. I was born here in Bethlehem, and this is where I'm going to stay. No, that's not what he said. He took his sandals and his robe and went right on about his business. Wherever his Father said to go, that's where he went. He even told his disciples, you go by twos. Don't take a coat. Don't take extra shoes. Don't take any money with you. He said, but go. And the way would be made for us. And we sit back, I don't have it, so I can't. That is not God's way. God did not limit anything to us. We limit what we accept from him.
Amen.
This is Mother's Month. This is a mother talking to you. Stop limiting what God is giving. God is freely giving. He has opened up the windows of heaven and will pour out a blessing. You won't even have room enough to receive it. All you have to do is ask and receive. Don't put a limit on what God has, because there is no limit. He said the cattle on 1,000 hills was his. If he was hungry, he wouldn't even ask you. He wouldn't even need somebody to prepare the food for him. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and all that dwell therein. That lets you know Fort Knox, with all its gold and all of the mints that are made for the dollar bills and the coins, they all belong to God. It's not any limitation on what God has or can provide. He does it. We only have to be right there, open and willing to accept it. As a mother, to all of you, accept what God has. Stop limiting him by saying, I can't, I don't have. You don't have it because you didn't ask. He said you have not because you asked not. Well, even when you don't ask, he will go ahead and give you what you need. So do that. Accept what he has for you. Okay? And I look forward to you joining me next month. That's the Father's Month. Got another message for the fathers. I'm sure you'll be interested in hearing that one. But for this month, this is Mother's Month. This is all I've got to tell you is don't limit what God has. He has no limit on what he will give. He freely gives. All you have to do is be open and accept. Be willing and do what he says to do. And you've got everything. You are a child of the King. I don't care if you are 100 years old. You still a child of the King. Accept what the King is giving. And he will give it through anybody down here. A car dealership, a real estate office, he will give it. Accept it. This is Mother's Month. Remember that. And I hope you enjoyed my guest on today, Kevin Armstrong. All right? Look forward to you next month. Bye-bye now.
Been to the water, been baptized.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Vicki Winans, and you're watching Bell Global Network.
Hi, everybody. I'm telling you, everything that happened to me that was good, God did it. I'm Evelyn Turrentine, AG, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
This is Pastor D. Alexander Bullock of Preachers of Detroit, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
This is Bishop Edgar Van of Second Ebenezer Church in Detroit, Michigan, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
Hi, I'm Bernadette Stanis. You know me best as Thelma from the TV show Good Times, and you are watching Bell Global Network.
My name is Mike Duggan, and I'm watching the Bell Global Network.
Hey, keep it locked. It's your boy D. Hattie watching the Bell Global Network. You know how it is.
Hi, I'm Charlie Langton, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
Hi, this is Martha Reeves, and you're watching Bell Global Network.